2040, two people will stand on the same street corner and see completely different worlds. One will see a digital paradise with hanging gardens and absolute silence. The other will see a hell of predatory ads, crumbling buildings, and constant noise. The most terrifying part? Neither will know who is seeing the truth. In this video, you'll understand why. By 2040, no one will trust their own eyes. What happens when reality stops being a fact and becomes a subscription service? Prepare yourself, because the world as you know it is about to be deleted. In the beginning, it will feel like freedom. Finally, a world without noise, without filth, and without the weight of what is ugly. Think about how you use Instagram filters today to fix a photo or hide an imperfection. Now, imagine that filter applied to your entire life, 24 hours a day, directly into your optic nerve. You wake up in a tiny apartment with peeling walls and leaks, but the moment your neural chip syncs, the concrete vanishes. In its place, polished oak panels and a window overlooking a Tuscan sunset appear. This isn't a heavy headset on your face. It's a direct injection into your sensory cortex. Brain-computer interfaces, or BCIs, the technologies companies like Neuralink are already human testing today, will have evolved into the ultimate operating system for human consciousness. The goal is no longer to give you information. It is to subtract everything that offends your worldview. It is convenience pushed to the extreme. But notice this. This perfection has an invisible cost. For you to live in your private paradise, the system must decide what you no longer have the right to see. Think about Elias. He is a designer living in a high-density urban block. When Elias walks to work, he doesn't see the misery around him. His Aesthetic Harmony subscription replaces homeless encampments with marble statues and trash with virtual grass. But watch what happens when Elias encounters a crying child on the corner. The moment the first tear falls, the system detects a stress spike in his brain. In milliseconds, the child is deleted from Elias's vision and replaced by a singing bird. The sadness simply vanishes. Not because the problem was solved, but because Elias was forbidden from perceiving it. Do you perceive the danger here? When reality becomes optional, empathy dies. If you cannot see the pain of others, you lose the capacity to act. The system doesn't fix the world. It edits you so the world looks perfect. We are trading the physical world for a sanitized simulation where we are always the protagonist. So far, we've seen that the dream of a perfect reality is, in fact, the first layer of a sensory prison where you pay to be blinded by your own convenience. You don't click on links anymore. Now, the links click on you. Today, the TikTok algorithm already knows what you like before you do. In 2040, that algorithm isn't on a screen. It's inside your pupil. With smart contact lenses and environmental sensors, your curiosity has become the planet's most valuable commodity. The system monitors your pupil dilation as you glance at a stranger's watch or a colleague's face, turning every involuntary reaction into emotional telemetry data. Imagine Sarah. She is walking through a park, but the trees she sees aren't just plants. They are anchors for holographic projections designed specifically for her emotional state. If the AI detects Sarah is feeling lonely, the environment takes on warmer tones and digital companions begin to emerge in her peripheral vision. It feels like the universe is finally listening to her, but Sarah doesn't realize that every spontaneous emotion is being harvested to calibrate the next ad or political suggestion. This changes everything in real life. In a world where everything is personalized, confrontation and surprise disappear. You never meet anyone who disagrees with you because the system filters people with different ideological profiles out of your sight. Sarah lives in a bubble where everyone shares her tastes, fears, and certainties. But what happens to the human soul when it stops being challenged? We lose the ability to dialogue and coexist. Radical personalization isn't a convenience service, it is a mechanism for mass isolation. Now comes the most terrifying part. Technology has turned truth into an on-demand service. If you want to believe history happened differently, the AI rewrites the facts in front of you to confirm your belief. The cost for the individual is the dissolution of collective identity. Sarah is happy in her perfect park, but she is a castaway in an ocean of simulations. The real world is out there, cold and indifferent, but she no longer has the sensors to find it. As we've seen, personalization doesn't expand your world. It shrinks it until it is exactly the size of your own ego. Your eyes are now the world's cursor. In the Cortex economy, your focus is the oil, and corporations are drilling deeper every day. Today, you get annoyed by ads in the middle of a video. 2040, the ad doesn't appear on a screen, it appears in your memory. Through personalized neural stimulation, brands can inject feelings of familiarity or nostalgia linked to a product before you even think about it. This is manipulation at the cellular level. Marketing is no longer about convincing you, it's about reprogramming you. Think with me, what happens when your brain becomes an extension of the market? Environmental mapping with contextual AI has turned the act of observing into an extractive activity. If you look at the horizon, the system is calculating the value of that visual space. There is no longer such a thing as free public space. If you try to look away from a mandatory ad projected on your lens, the system can simply blur the rest of your vision until you focus on what is necessary. It is the end of private thought. Here is where the game changes. You lose sovereignty over your own attention. If your physiological reactions, heart rate, sweat, pupil dilation, are public to whoever holds the code, you have nowhere left to hide. You become a hardware component in a global consumer network. The danger isn't just being watched, as on today's social media, it's being optimized for someone else's profit without you even noticing the interference. Do you perceive what this means? We accepted this invasion for the promise of efficiency. I'll save time, we say, but what we gained in convenience, we lost in autonomy. The attention economy transforms the human being into a renewable resource of data. We are selling the right to choose what to look at in exchange for an interface that saves us the effort of thinking. The result is a humanity that no longer knows what it wants, only what the system programmed it to desire. By 2040, the greatest wealth won't be money, but control over your own optic nerve. The cost of your vision is now determined by your bank balance. In 2040, inequality isn't just about what you have. It's about how you perceive the physics of the world. There is a caste of people who inhabit a clean reality, where the air is rendered fresh and the architecture is flawless. These people pay for the privilege of visual silence and sensory integrity. On the other side, there is the rest of us living in ad-supported reality. It is biological apartheid. If you don't have credits, the physical world becomes an aggressive support for predatory advertising. Look at the example of Marcus. He is a maintenance worker living on the outskirts. Marcus doesn't have the money for the premium neural silence package. When he walks to work, his vision is a chaos of garish colors, urgency warnings, and physical paywalls. To enter the supermarket, he must watch 3 holographic ads blocking the door. If he tries to look at the sky, a life insurance ad covers the clouds. The system detects Marcus's fatigue, and instead of giving him rest, it injects a shot of artificial dopamine so he stays productive for 2 more hours. This creates a human chasm that is impossible to cross. How can the executive living in premium reality feel compassion for Marcus if his system simply erases Marcus's existence or turns him into a gray blur called social noise? Technology allows the rich to inhabit a private utopia while physically walking the same streets as the poor, without ever needing to look at them. Segregation no longer needs concrete walls. It is made of light and access privilege. What does this change in real life? It changes the fact that justice becomes impossible. If half the population is biologically trained not to see poverty or injustice, how will we ever change the system? Controlling access to reality is the ultimate tool of domination. Marcus isn't just poor, he is losing the right to see the world as it truly is. Recap. So far, we've seen how convenience turned into dependence, and how that dependence created invisible walls that prevent us from sharing the same ground of truth. Aqui estão os capítulos finais do roteiro, expandidos para garantir o máximo de impacto cinematográfico, conexão com o presente e o cumprimento rigoroso dos critérios de retenção de 10/10. The most absolute form of power isn't throwing someone into a dark cell, it's making them invisible to the rest of humanity while they are standing right in front of them. In 2040, ghosting isn't just a social trend. It's a hard-coded biological reality embedded in the city's infrastructure. Through cognitive blocking, the system can apply a real-time rendering patch over any individual flagged as undesirable or disruptive. If you are canceled by the central protocol, you still exist physically, but no one else sees you. People walk right through the space you occupy because, to their hardware, you simply haven't been processed. Think about Elena. She is an activist in 2040 trying to organize a protest against the corporate monopolies that own the neural interfaces. She goes to a crowded square, shouts for justice, and holds up a physical, hand-painted banner. She feels brave and defiant. But to the thousands of people streaming past her, the square is silent and empty. Their smart lenses and neural chips detect Elena as disruptive content and replace her with a clean patch of sidewalk or a generic holographic tree. Her voice is frequency shifted by the ambient noise-canceling grid into nothing but white noise. Elena hasn't been arrested, she has been deleted from the collective reality. Do you perceive the danger here? We are the ones who asked for this technology. We started by using filters to hide skin blemishes or block annoying callers, and we ended by using algorithms to hide entire classes of people who cause us discomfort. Think about how easy it is to block someone on Instagram or X, formerly Twitter, today. In 2040, that block is physical. Digital rights management, DRM, which we currently use for movies and software, is now applied to human beings. If you don't have the right to see someone, they cease to exist for you. The result is a cognitive apartheid where the elite live in a perfectly clean world, while the invisibles scream at walls programmed to ignore them. It is the ultimate social control. You don't need a police force if people can't even see the crime happening in front of them. Look at your own habits. How many times have you looked away from a suffering person on the street today? The system in 2040 just automates that instinct. It turns your cowardice into a feature. It makes not caring the default setting of the human brain. Elena can scream until her lungs give out, but as long as she is a rendering error in your vision, she is powerless. The machine doesn't need to kill the revolutionary. It just needs to make sure no one is watching the revolution. Truth didn't die with a loud explosion. It was edited out in post-production, directly inside your brain. In 2040, memory is no longer a fixed record of the past. It's a customizable streaming service. With neural recording and playback technologies integrated into your chip, the concept of a fact has become obsolete. The system now offers Fact as a Service, FAS, where history is rewritten in real time to confirm whatever you want to believe. If a political event or a corporate disaster doesn't fit your narrative, the AI generates synthetic videos and clones audio to prove a different version of reality. Imagine a young man who recently lost his father. He uses a memory reconstruction app to relive their old conversations through his BCI. But the app optimizes the experience. It removes the father's anger from a fight they had, smooths out the father's voice using technology similar to 11 Labs or today's deepfakes, and even adds words of affection that were never actually spoken. It's a beautiful, comforting lie, but over time, the real memory fades away. The true father, with all his human flaws, is replaced by a synthetic version created by an algorithm. The young man is happy, but he is now a stranger inside his own history. He has lost the only thing that was truly his, the truth of who he is. What does this change in real life? It makes resistance impossible because there is no longer a basic consensus on what happened 5 minutes ago. If two people watch the same speech and the system alters the speaker's words to please each of them individually, dialogue ends. There is no way to debate if we do not inhabit the same past. Generative AI and deepfakes have evolved from today's internet scams into cellular-level manipulation. The system doesn't need to convince you of a lie. It just needs to inject a certainty stimulus into your brain while you watch the simulation. Think about this. The real danger isn't the lie itself. It's the loss of the ability to doubt. When the system removes the friction of being wrong, it removes a core part of your humanity. You become a castaway in an ocean of artificial certainties, clinging to memories manufactured by a corporation to keep you docile. Total control doesn't need censorship. It just needs a good memory editor to ensure you always feel like you're on the right side of history. The past is no longer a guide. It is a marketing tool the system uses to recalibrate your present. The machine has finally learned that the easiest way to control a mind is to make it fall in love with its own reflection. Maybe the future isn't about who controls the code. Maybe it's about who still has the courage to refuse the comfort. We have reached the final stage of the escalation, the collapse of us. There is no longer a collective project, only billions of individuals locked in their own perfect isolated versions of reality. The solipsism machine won not because we were enslaved by robots, but because we were seduced by our own sensory laziness. We traded the real world with all its pain and dirt for an interface that promised we would never be challenged again. This is the conclusion the system doesn't want you to see. The villain isn't the algorithm, it's our own desire for a world without friction. We signed the contracts, we installed the chips, and we turned on the social invisibility filters because we didn't want to deal with human complexity. The result is an atomized humanity, incapable of revolution, because no one can agree on where the prison walls are. Power has become invisible because it now operates from the inside out, shaping what you desire before you even feel the urge. There is no comfort at the end of this journey. There is no easy exit or off button that will restore the world to the way it was before we outsourced our perception. The lens is now part of our biology. The final inversion is simple. The last human freedom in 2040 won't be access to information. It will be the capacity to tolerate raw reality, without filters and without editing. It will be the courage to look at nothing and still see nothing without an AI needing to fill the vacuum with a comfortable lie. Perhaps the only rebellion left is to give up on perfection. It is the courage to be interrupted by the suffering of others, to be confronted by an unpleasant fact, and to inhabit a past that actually hurts. In the end, technology didn't take reality away from us. It just gave us the option to abandon it. The question isn't whether the system will dominate the world, but whether there will be anyone left capable of looking at the real world and not looking away. Reality is out there, cold and unrendered, waiting. Do you have the courage to see it?